Scientists in Iceland say a major volcanic eruption could occur within days, but they are increasingly optimistic that it may spare a town 40 miles southwest of the capital, Reykjavik.
Oh my God!
Beneath the picturesque landscape of Iceland's Grindavik lies a simmering threat concealed by tranquility. A symphony of seismic tremors recently forced the residents to evict, and the quivering ground hints at an impending cataclysm. Most recently, a 100ft wide crack just opened the Iceland volcano. As experts collide on what is about to happen, the lives and livelihoods of the locals hang in the balance, and this is far from the first time that something like this has happened. Join us as we explore the active magma river underneath this tranquil city, foretelling a narrative of impending eruption, where each tremor writes a chilling chapter in the saga of an impending catastrophe. Recent seismic activity and evacuation in Grindavik. The picturesque town of Grindavik, nestled in southwest Iceland, has been gripped by unprecedented seismic activity, igniting fears of an imminent volcanic eruption. Since the 24th of October 2023, the region has experienced a staggering surge in seismic tremors, surpassing 1,000 earthquakes within a short span. The escalating seismic unrest, which at one time hit a record high of 800 tremors in 24 hours, prompted Icelandic authorities to issue evacuation orders, compelling residents to swiftly abandon their homes. The urgency stemmed from the emergence of a 15-kilometer-long underground river of magma. The threat posed by this active magma flow intensified concerns, leading to the mandatory evacuation of Grindavik. Despite efforts to allow residents brief access to essential belongings, the situation remains precarious, prohibiting re-entry due to the high-risk nature of the area. The tumultuous ground and persistent seismic tremors have rendered the town unsafe, prompting a profound disruption in the lives of its inhabitants. Iceland's history is marked by volcanic eruptions that have shaped its rugged terrain. The country's volcanic legacy dates back centuries, with eruptions etching their imprint on the landscape and impacting civilizations. Iceland's volcanic activity is deeply rooted in its geological composition, where the Eurasian and North American tectonic plates meet, creating a volatile hotspot. Historical accounts chronicle major eruptions that have left an indelible mark on Icelandic history. Events like the 2010 Eyjafjallajökull eruption, which disrupted air travel across Europe, and the creation of the island of Surtsey in 1963 from an undersea eruption, exemplify the magnitude and unpredictability of Iceland's volcanic prowess. The country's resilience amid such natural upheavals echoes a history of adaptation and survival. It's within this backdrop of volcanic turbulence that the current apprehension over Grindavik's volcanic potential reverberates, drawing parallels to Iceland's enduring relationship with volcanic activity. What will happen now? Will we see another episode of devastation like before? And if so, where will the area go from here? Before we unveil these shocking details, let's take a step back and go over the whole thing from the beginning. An imminent threat. Southwest Iceland has been rocked by an alarming surge in seismic events, with over 1,000 tremors recorded in recent days. This seismic unrest, notably in Grindavik, has rattled communities and raised ominous alarms regarding a potential volcanic eruption. The intensifying seismic tremors prompted swift and decisive action from Icelandic authorities, compelling the urgent evacuation of Grindavik. Despite initial allowances for brief retrieval of essential belongings, the gravity of the situation swiftly escalated, forbidding any further access. The urgency of the evacuation process underscores the imminent danger posed by the volatile seismic activity in southwest Iceland. Central to the prevailing threat is an active 15-kilometer-long river of magma coursing beneath the peninsula. Experts, sounding the alarm, have highlighted the menacing potential of this active magma flow. The presence of such an extensive and active magma conduit has substantially heightened concerns over the likelihood of a volcanic eruption. Experts' warnings emphasize the grave and imminent danger posed by this extensive active magma flow lurking beneath southwest Iceland's vulnerable terrain, and it's not without reason. Understanding the situation with scientific insights. While the frequency of earthquakes has recently dwindled, the area remains a focal point of analysis due to its potential implications. This reduction, albeit a positive deviation from the relentless tremors, demands cautious interpretation. Scientists are meticulously scrutinizing this decrease. Volcanic experts are emphasizing the volatility of the situation, stressing that even diminished seismic activity doesn't necessarily equate to diminished threat. They underscore the precariousness of the situation, citing that subdued seismic activity might signify a different phase in the volcanic cycle, potentially indicating the gradual ascent of magma towards the surface. Drawing parallels with historical eruptions in Iceland forms a critical component of understanding the current predicament. Experts juxtapose the present seismic unrest with past volcanic events that have shaped Iceland's landscape and history. Comparisons highlight the potential magnitude of the impending eruption and its possible societal, environmental, and economic repercussions. Volcanic activity and community response. The formation of a magma tunnel or dike underneath the affected region serves as a crucial focal point in understanding the imminent volcanic threat. This vertical column of magma rising from the depths below presents multifaceted risks. Geophysical observations indicate rapid expansion and inflation of this tunnel, amplifying concerns about a potential eruption. Its location and expansive nature pose a serious threat, raising fears of a sizable volcanic event. The looming volcanic threat extends beyond the immediate vicinity of the magma tunnel, casting a shadow of concern over nearby towns and crucial infrastructure. Authorities are gravely concerned about the potential ravaging impact on infrastructure, particularly the structural integrity of buildings and crucial utilities. The risk of inundation by lava flows and the subsequent destruction of roads, power lines, and residential areas remains a paramount concern, intensifying the urgency of the situation. The community response to this looming catastrophe has been swift and coordinated. Evacuation orders were promptly issued, compelling residents to leave their homes and seek refuge elsewhere. The establishment of shelters and support systems aimed at accommodating and aiding displaced individuals showcase the community's resilience in the face of adversity. A sense of solidarity has emerged, with people opening their homes and resources to those affected, fostering a spirit of collective support amidst the impending crisis. Outside observers may be a bit skeptical, and indeed some are, but this sense of urgency is not for naught. There is reason to be afraid. Historically, Iceland has witnessed several significant volcanic eruptions, each leaving a mark on the region's landscape and society. The Laki eruption of 1783, for instance, stands as one of Iceland's most catastrophic natural events. It began on June 8, 1783, in the Laki fissure system, spewing enormous volumes of lava and releasing toxic gases into the atmosphere. Lasting for 8 months, the eruption profoundly impacted Iceland and beyond. The emitted sulfur dioxide led to an atmospheric haze, causing devastating consequences globally. The haze spread across Europe, altering weather patterns and resulting in severe climate anomalies. This period, known as the Laki haze, contributed to widespread famine, crop failures, and a significant loss of livestock. Tragically, an estimated 25% of Iceland's population succumbed to famine or related diseases during this time, marking it as one of the deadliest eruptions in history. The Eldfell eruption occurred unexpectedly on January 23, 1973, on Heimaey, one of the Westman Islands. The eruption began with a fissure opening on the island, prompting immediate evacuations. The entire population, approximately 5,300 individuals, had to flee their homes, seeking refuge in mainland Iceland and nearby towns. Lava flows threatened to engulf the island's harbor, necessitating emergency efforts to divert the lava flow. Despite the destruction of around 400 homes and extensive damage to infrastructure, there were no reported casualties. Remarkably, residents managed to return after months of resettlement efforts, rebuilding their homes and lives amidst the volcanic aftermath. The Eyjafjallajökull eruption began in March 2010 beneath the glacier of the same name. The eruption initially caused minimal disruptions until a subsequent phase produced a massive ash plume that reached high altitudes. The ash cloud posed a significant risk to aviation due to potential engine damage from volcanic ash particles. Consequently, European airspace faced unprecedented closures, affecting over 100,000 flights and disrupting travel for millions of passengers. The economic impact was substantial, with losses incurred by airlines, businesses, and tourism. This eruption underscored the vulnerability of modern society to volcanic events, prompting improvements in ash monitoring and contingency plans for aviation safety. The Grimsvatn eruption occurred beneath the Vatnajökull ice cap, marking Iceland's most active volcano. The eruption, while powerful, was contained mainly within the ice cap, limiting its impact on air travel compared to the Eyjafjallajökull eruption the previous year. Although the ash cloud disrupted air traffic in Iceland and neighboring countries, the closure of airspace was shorter-lived and affected fewer flights. The relatively contained nature of this eruption prevented a widespread aviation crisis, showcasing the importance of monitoring and assessing volcanic activities to mitigate their impact on air travel and public safety. Throughout the centuries, eruptions like these serve as stark reminders of the unpredictable nature of volcanic events and their potential to affect not just local communities, but global systems. In this context, it is easy to rationalize the sense of urgency that has engulfed the local community. What if there's another eruption? Considering the historical context and potential factors at play, the level of destruction resulting from the Grindavik eruption could be quite intense. And here, many factors come into play. The exact location and intensity of the eruption will significantly influence its impact. If the eruption occurs within proximity to populated areas, it could cause considerable damage to infrastructure and pose risks to communities. The release of volcanic ash can disrupt air travel, impacting airports and aviation operations. Depending on the density and spread of the ash cloud, it could affect regional and even transcontinental flights, potentially leading to flight cancellations and economic losses. Lava flows can damage structures, roads, and utilities. If the eruption reaches populated areas, homes and infrastructure could be at risk of destruction. Toxic gases released during an eruption can affect air quality, posing health risks to nearby residents. This can lead to respiratory issues and other health concerns, potentially requiring evacuations or protective measures. Eruptions often have broader environmental consequences, affecting ecosystems, agriculture, and water sources. This can impact local biodiversity, agricultural productivity, and water quality, affecting livelihoods and the economy. Given Iceland's experience with volcanic eruptions and its robust emergency response systems, there's naturally a considerable level of preparedness that we have before us. However, the potential destruction caused by the Grindavik eruption could range from localized infrastructure damage and disruptions to broader regional impacts, depending on the eruption's scale and trajectory. Immediate concerns involve safeguarding lives, ensuring public safety, and minimizing disruptions to essential services and infrastructure, but if the damage turns out to be extensive, that would be a totally different story. Expert perspectives on risk assessment. Volcano experts have been closely monitoring the escalating situation in southwest Iceland. Discussions among experts have highlighted the significance of recent seismic activity and magma movement, signaling a heightened probability of volcanic activity. Experts have meticulously evaluated multiple eruption scenarios, ranging from a substantial eruption to smaller yet still impactful volcanic events. While the decreased seismic activity has slightly shifted the likelihood away from a colossal eruption, the plausibility of a smaller-scale event remains considerable. Expert assessments stress the unpredictability inherent in volcanic activity, advocating for sustained vigilance and preparedness. Cutting-edge technology has enabled experts to monitor and predict volcanic activity. Advanced geophysical measurements, both ground-based and satellite-driven, have provided crucial insights into the progression of magma movement and the formation of the magma tunnel. These technological advancements have offered invaluable data for assessing the evolving risk, aiding in timely evacuations and risk mitigation strategies. According to reports from November 26th, a significant portion, approximately 90% of the magma dike in Svartsengi has solidified. Professor Magnus Tumi Gudmundsson, a geophysics expert from the University of Iceland, has stated that while most of the dike has solidified, there remains a possibility of additional magma accumulation leading to an upward flow. Nonetheless, the most probable eruption area now lies east of Sillingarfell, although this assessment remains contingent upon the current circumstances. Things can still go terribly wrong. The situation remains complex. The slowing land rise at Svartsengi may not reach its previous height, indicating various scenarios that could unfold in the near future. Gudmundsen underscores that pressure can indeed build up. This vulnerable state necessitates cautious considerations, especially concerning the operation of power plants in active volcanic areas. The ongoing developments raise significant concerns about the safety of infrastructure and settlements in the vicinity. Efforts to potentially divert lava from settlements through cooling methods are being explored by experts, acknowledging the risks involved in an eruption's aftermath and its impact on power plants and local communities. In any case, the unpredictability of volcanic events demands continued vigilance and preparedness from authorities and residents alike. Challenges posed by an imminent eruption. The evolving volcanic threat in Grindavik has presented authorities with multifaceted challenges. The foremost challenge lies in balancing the urgency of the situation with ensuring the safety and well-being of residents. Coordinating swift evacuations amidst ongoing seismic activity has strained logistical capabilities. Moreover, the uncertainty surrounding the magnitude and timing of a potential eruption compounds the complexities faced by emergency management teams. Preparedness measures have been rigorously implemented to minimize potential damages. Infrastructure reinforcement, particularly around critical facilities and infrastructure vulnerable to lava flows, is underway. Strategic placement of barriers and protective structures aims to shield vital utilities and prevent widespread damage. Additionally, continuous monitoring through advanced technology enables prompt responses and early warnings, facilitating swift action in high-risk areas. Contingency plans have been devised for potential scenarios, encompassing relocation strategies for affected communities and comprehensive evacuation protocols. Authorities are working in tandem with communities to ensure effective communication and coordinated responses, facilitating smooth transitions in the event of heightened risk or imminent eruption. These plans are dynamic and designed to adapt swiftly to evolving circumstances while prioritizing the safety and well-being of residents. Will there be more risks in the near future? The evolving situation in Grindavik remains unpredictable, with several potential outcomes contingent on ongoing seismic activity and magma movement. Possibilities include a range of eruption scenarios, from a significant volcanic event causing widespread disruption to a smaller eruption mitigated by preparedness measures. The outcome largely hinges on the continued monitoring of seismic patterns and the behavior of the active magma river beneath the peninsula. Amidst the imminent threat, scientific advancements and meticulous monitoring efforts have provided critical insights into the volcano's behavior. While decreased seismic activity may alleviate immediate concerns, the persistent presence of an active magma river suggests an ongoing risk. The potential eruption, whether large-scale or smaller in magnitude, necessitates unwavering vigilance, preparedness, and adherence to safety directives issued by authorities. Iceland's history bears testament to its resilience in the face of natural calamities, notably volcanic eruptions. The nation's robust emergency response systems, advanced technological infrastructure, and collaborative community spirit underscore its readiness to confront such adversities. The collective efforts of scientists, authorities, and communities in preparing for and responding to potential volcanic eruptions demonstrate Iceland's steadfast commitment to safeguarding lives, mitigating risks, and fostering resilience against natural disasters. As the situation unfolds, Iceland remains poised to navigate and overcome the challenges posed by its dynamic geological landscape, showcasing adaptability and strength in the wake of potential volcanic activity. For now, we can't be absolutely certain of anything. Thanks for watching. Don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable.